In the heart of southern Africa lies a city of stone, a city without mortar, yet still standing tall after more than 600 years. For centuries, outsiders denied its African origins. They spun myths, erased truths, and tried to write its builders out of history. But the stones of Great Zimbabwe never lied. Today, we uncover the real story, a story of innovation, trade, power, and pride. The discovery that shook the world in 1871. German explorer Karl Moch wandered into the rugged hills of modern-day Zimbabwe. What he found stunned him: massive walls stretching hundreds of meters, with some sections rising higher than a 3-story building. The stonework was so precise that the blocks seemed to lock into each other without mortar. Instead of crediting the local people, Moch made an outrageous claim that the ruins were linked to King Solomon's mines or the biblical Queen of Sheba. These ideas had no evidence but fit perfectly into the colonial worldview of the time, that Africa could not produce such architecture. Yet, Shona, oral traditions, had always spoken of a great city built by their ancestors, a city of kings, cattle, and gold. The birth of a stone empire, the origins of Great Zimbabwe, date back to the 11th century. Granite was plentiful in the area, and local builders developed a unique technique called dry stone masonry, carefully chipping stones into uniform shapes and stacking them in tight formation. The city grew into 3 main areas: the hill complex, a natural fortress and royal residence, where the king lived and where religious ceremonies were held; the great enclosure, a massive walled area, possibly used for royal gatherings, marriage ceremonies, or the queen's quarters; the valley ruins, sprawling residential and market areas for the common people. By the 14th century, Great Zimbabwe covered over 720 hectares, making it one of the largest cities in pre-colonial Africa. The wealth of the kingdom. Great Zimbabwe's prosperity came from trade. Situated between gold-rich inland areas and the Indian Ocean coast, it became a vital link in the Swahili Coast trade network. From the port cities of Kilwa and Sofala, African merchants shipped gold, ivory, and animal skins to traders from Persia, India, and China. Archaeologists have found Chinese porcelain from the Ming dynasty, Persian glass, and Arab coins inside the ruins, proof of its far-reaching connections. Gold mining was controlled by the king, and the wealth it generated funded elaborate architecture and a royal court that rivaled any in the world. Life inside the walls. Life in Great Zimbabwe was more than politics and trade. It was culture, community, and craft. The Shona people were master herders and farmers, raising cattle as a sign of wealth. Families lived in circular clay huts with thatched roofs, arranged in family compounds. Men worked as hunters, miners, and craftsmen, while women often managed trade, agriculture, and family wealth. Markets buzzed with activity, selling iron tools, gold ornaments, pottery, and fine cloths. Skilled artisans carved soapstone birds, believed to represent spiritual guardians, which still stand as national symbols today. Spirituality and power. Great Zimbabwe wasn't just a political capital, it was also a sacred city. The ruling class was believed to have a spiritual mandate from the Muari religion, which emphasized a single creator god. The king, or Mambo, acted as a spiritual intermediary, ensuring good rains, prosperity, and protection from enemies. The great enclosure's conical tower remains a mystery. Some believe it symbolized a grain silo, representing abundance, while others see it as a spiritual monument. In Shona cosmology, the walls themselves were more than just barriers. They were sacred boundaries that defined spaces of power. The Golden Age at its peak between 1300 and 1450. Great Zimbabwe may have been home to 18,000 people, making it one of the largest cities in medieval Africa. Its influence extended across present-day Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and parts of Botswana and South Africa. Foreign envoys, traders, and even rival kings would visit the city, bringing tribute to its rulers. The kingdom's reputation was so great that some historians believe its fame inspired legends in distant lands. The decline and abandonment. By the mid-15th century, Great Zimbabwe was in decline. Possible causes include overpopulation, leading to soil exhaustion and famine, cattle overgrazing, causing environmental degradation, trade routes, shifting towards other emerging cities like Kami and Mutapa, political rivalries weakening the central authority. Slowly, the people moved away, leaving behind the silent stone walls. The jungle began to reclaim the site, and the memory of the city became legend. Colonial lies and the fight for truth. When European settlers arrived in the late 19th century, they were determined to erase the city's African identity. The Rhodesian colonial government even passed laws forbidding archaeologists from publishing evidence that proved its Siona origins. In 1905, archaeologist David Randall McIver presented undeniable proof that the city was African-built, yet colonial authorities ignored him for decades. It was not until Zimbabwe's independence in 1980 that Great Zimbabwe became fully recognized as a symbol of national pride. Today, Great Zimbabwe is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its massive walls stand as a testament to African engineering and statecraft. Visitors walk through narrow stone passageways, climb the hill complex, and touch the same stones that kings once touched 700 years ago. The site is not just a tourist attraction, it is a cultural pilgrimage, a place where Zimbabweans reconnect with their roots. The walls of Great Zimbabwe tell a story that no amount of colonial propaganda could erase. This was Africa, strong, wealthy, connected, and innovative, centuries before outsiders arrived. And as long as these stones stand, the truth will stand with them.